Hello, my undead. This video will be a follow-up to my first Kenjaku video, which was received very well, so thank you all for that. We all know JJK isn't perfect. One of the things that make this stand out is Kenjaku's ending. While yes, it's not out of character for anybody, and it totally makes sense to sneak attack the third strongest sorcerer, this doesn't feel good for the audience. Kenjaku got one fight to go all out with sorcery, and his finale involved more comedy than what the entire series is about, Jujutsu. Today, I propose a hypothetical fight to help alleviate this pain while praising the overly critiqued Kenjaku versus Takaba fight. Kenny's entire purpose in this story is to be entertained. His entire goal is to be entertained. He even laughs at the thought of the merger being some kind of funny face. So, who is the perfect person to satisfy this need for entertainment? It's Takaba, the man with a comedian curse technique that rivals Gojo's. The man who single-handedly makes 1,000 years worth of knowledge useless. Nobody else in the series makes as much sense to fight as Takaba. Kenjaku doesn't care about Yuta, or Megumi, or Maki, or Yuji, or Kusakabe, or anybody there. All those fights have zero narrative implications, besides maybe, if you're grasping at straws, Yuta wanting to kill Kenjaku, which makes for zero clashes in ideology, zero witty banter. It would just be a fight to be a fight. And it would be taking place at a very bad time because I believe Gege kind of wrote himself into a hard spot. Is this to say you need to enjoy Yuta one-shotting him? Not at all. It's actually one of my major problems with the series. And that's saying a lot because I don't have that many. I'm just trying to get the point across that the Takaba fight by itself and as a narrative ending for Kenjaku is actually makes a lot of sense and it's not that bad and it's not that serious. Twitter or TikTok, please calm down. It's okay. It's not that bad. Maybe you don't get the jokes. That's okay because they're supposed to be in Japanese, you moron. Okay? It's a good fight. Leave it alone. Leave it alone, please. I do believe Gege wrote himself into a hard spot, though, because if Yuta were to stay and fight, the Sukuna squad would have been fucked. They would have been done for. Sukuna would have just like, all right, I'm bored. I'm locking in, and murdered all of them if Yuta wasn't there to help Yuji nerf the shit out of him. And Yuta would have showed up weekend whenever he did, probably to everybody being dead. It makes perfect sense, and it's perfectly in character to have Toto help him one-shot Kenny so they can head back ASAP. However, just because there's a good reason for all that happening, and just because it's all in character, does not inherently make it good or satisfying. So I do understand the problem that people have with that section of Kenjaku's ending. And I do believe I have some way to fix it that's not very narratively important, but not all fights need to have a narrative importance. Sometimes there can just be a fight to be a fight. For one, I would never claim to be a better writer than Gege in any universe. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a guy on YouTube with 100 subs that's talking about a show I like. He knows far more than I do. I'm sure I'd never be able to fix anything in that series. However, I wanted to make some kind of theoretical fight in this video just because I thought it'd be fun. I would have Yuta and Hakari fight Kenjaku. But that doesn't make sense. All the points you just said. But it would be while Gojo and Sukuna are fighting. To be honest, Yuta and Hakari watching the fight doesn't add that much, and they don't need to be there. The only person that needs to be there is Hakari so he can fight Urame. But if you have this fight going on, as soon as Gojo and Sukuna starts, Yuta and Hakari go and try to find Kenjaku. And in my universe, they would find him immediately. There wouldn't be some kind of elaborate search or anything. If it's going on while the fight starts, there is no time pressure for the two. none at all. And Gege could just write in, oh, they can sense the cursed energy from the battle because it's so great. So they would know when the fight is over. And this would also help Kenjaku to get one last bout to show how strong, intelligent, and crafty he is. One full-on fight where he gets to use all of his sorcery prowess is just not enough. I'm sorry. That is why people are so mad with how Kenjaku ended. Only one fight against a special grade is crazy. And this fight would end with Yuta and Hakari on the verge of losing, because I do believe that Kenjaku would be able to beat Yuta on a one-on-one easy. And then in a 1v2, it would definitely be rough for him. But I do believe, even with the open domain, Yuta is not going to be able to domain, nor is he going to want to, because he's going to want to save it for Sukuna. Hakari will spam domains so he can get infinite RCT, which will really interest Kenjaku, I believe. I believe Kenjaku would be really interested and entertained with how hard it would be to kill Hakari. But I do believe they would lose, but they wouldn't die. I wouldn't have either of them die. I would have them get to a point where they're so severely weakened that Takaba shows up. And immediately, maybe Takaba finds it funny if they were to just get teleported. Or if all of Kenjaku's efforts were for naught and Yuta and Hakari get healed, or something like that, which might feel like some sort of contrivance. So you don't necessarily need that to happen. I'm just saying it is a possibility. And Kenjaku and Takaba would have their entire fight the exact way it is. I wouldn't change a single thing about that fight. It's awesome. Go reread it. It's completely different from reading it weekly. And then I believe it'd get to the same point where Takaba is lying on the ground pretending to be dead. And Yuta would show up. Kenjaku would expect it, and he'd immediately try to do gravity. Todo would swap because he's not expecting Todo at all, and then Yuta cuts off his head. We know Hakari can heal immediately to go fight Urame, and then Yuta can sit back and try to heal, and that's if Takaba doesn't heal them, because if he finds it funny or not. But Yuta would be able to get some healing from Shoko, and then be able to join back the fight later.
Hey, this is Editing Shui here. I say Yuta is able to join the fight later because when the Sukuna versus the Shinjuku squad actually starts, Yuta shows up later anyway because of him dealing with Kenjaku. But if that all happens earlier, Yuta will get done with Kenjaku earlier, and then he'll be able to show up, rest for a while, RCT, and then come back into the fight. So that's what I meant.
If Yuta were to be there, it's fine for him to join the fight later. I think Yuta, it would probably take him a while to get back, and then Hakari can just gamble, full speed ahead, full cursed energy, get there immediately. I think it's fine to have a fight that doesn't have some sort of massive narrative importance. As long as it's not the conclusion for some kind of major main character. That's why I would have the fight end with Takaba and Kenjaku, and then Yuta one-shotting him. But at least this time it somewhat makes sense because Kenjaku had an entire 2 fights weakening him, fighting 2 special grades, and then Takaba, and then getting 1 shot. I also think this fight would be extremely entertaining for Kenjaku just to be able to fight someone with infinite cursed energy and then be able to fight someone with multiple curse techniques in 1 curse technique.
I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching to the end. I really love JJK, and that comes with being able to mention its flaws. Since this series is over, I do want to talk about other anime and especially video games. So let me know what you'd like to see from certain anime or video games. Don't worry, JJK is not going anywhere. I love it way too much to stop talking about it, and we also have a new season coming out, most likely within a year. I also want to take this moment to just plug my live streams. They've been popping off lately. I stream games. It's fun. Feel free to come chat and ask me questions about videos if you want. Have a wonderful night, my undead.